This morning on Houston Newsmakers, the focus on nonprofits you can help in 2016. Legacy Community Health has been on the forefront in the fight against HIV/AIDS for more than 30 years, but they do so much more. We'll talk about the tremendous impact that agency is making in many areas of our community and how you can help. Big Brothers and Big Sisters continues as the mentoring expert locally and nationally, the impact being felt here and what the biggest need is right now. Cancer patients in Houston often need a place to stay. We'll meet the man who, from watching the struggles of his own family, started Friday Harbor, which has provided hundreds of free nights to those in need. And we'll meet the teen who's collecting socks for the homeless on this week's Houston Newsmakers.
From KPRC Channel 2, this is Houston Newsmakers with Cambrell Marshall.
Good morning and welcome to our first Houston Newsmakers of 2016. We are focusing this morning on several organizations you might want to consider supporting in 2016, starting with Legacy Community Health. What a history this program and this organization has had over the years. Started as the Montrose Clinic, and now is Legacy Health. A great deal of history with this program. Katie Caldwell is the Executive Director of Legacy Community Health and joins me this morning to talk about the organization's reach into the community and its needs. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You know, 10 years ago, I guess it was about 10 years ago, the organization stopped really focusing specifically on HIV/AIDS, and boy, what a difference it's made in those last 10 years, huh?
Yes, we've grown and changed a lot. We are now a full-service community health center. We have 25 locations now. We used to have one 10 years ago, and we're in Houston, Baytown, and Beaumont, as well as in the KIPP schools and Yes Prep schools.
I can't imagine that 10 years ago when you put together a strategic plan that anyone could have envisioned this kind of growth. Was this part of the plan, or has it just outpaced even your expectations?
Oh, it's outpaced even my expectations. It was part of the plan to grow and to expand our services beyond HIV, but to grow the amount that we have over the last 10 years has really been incredible. And while it was planned growth, we didn't plan explosive growth.
And what is the main priority now of the Legacy?
Primary health care and preventive care. We want to keep people in our neighborhoods healthy, working, happy, and prevent diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and HIV. We're still very much an HIV provider.
And once you got into the neighborhoods and you started to get in the ground and work through, what kind of feedback and or pushback did you get? What became most difficult? Because diabetes, for example, in some of the communities you're in, I'm sure is one of those diseases that's kind of challenging to get a grip on. Oh,
it's very challenging to get a grip on, and we don't have a grip on it. I wish I could say we did. I'm hoping in the next 10 to 15 years we will have a grip on it. But we do all kinds of education programs, and mostly it's letting people know that they can come get treatment with us. Everything is on a sliding scale based on people's ability to pay. What we find a lot of times with our patients who don't have insurance is that they're afraid to come in because they're afraid they can't afford it. Or when they come in, they can't afford the medications. We have lots of help to get medications, which of course is what you have to control things like diabetes.
Right, and you get stuff done beforehand, the preventive part.
If you get stuff done beforehand, you can prevent it. But if you've already got it, we still want you to come in because we want you to manage it.
And this program now, I just saw not long ago where you got a grant of $50,000, and it was a one-of-a-kind kind of grant.
It is a one-of-a-kind grant. It's the only one in Houston, and this was actually from the Ford Foundation, and it's to do a plan, a citywide plan to end HIV. Our goal is to have no new infections in 5 years.
And that's a tall task.
It's a very tall task.
You're going to need more than $50,000 for that.
Yes, we are, but that's our planning grant.
Right.
And it's going to take a whole community-wide response to do that. So what we're planning is we're with the City of Houston Health Department and other organizations and community organizations to plan what we have to do and what things have to be in place and how we can all come together to end this epidemic.
That is a great plan. And you have 12 months now to get ready for it.
We have 12 months to get ready for it.
I know one of the focuses on education. That brings us to the Little Readers program. We've talked about this program on your program on this program before. Describe why why that's so important and what's so unique about that when a kid goes to a doctor's office and they get a book?
Well, it's unique in several ways. First, the doctor talks about the importance with parents of reading to your children and how this really improves their mind. It improves the relationship between the parent and the child. And it really, a lot of people, you know, when your doctor tells you to do something, you do it. And so if the doctor is there telling you, read your child, and here's a book. So every visit, well-child visit that a child comes in, we give them a book to take home. And the kids' faces just light up. We also have what we call our little readers' corners in our lobbies, where we have volunteers that come in and read to the kids. You know, a lot of times people have multiple children, so it's a nice place to leave the child so the parent can go back with the other
I imagine that changes the whole dynamic of family, really. When you start doing it, or you start getting the reading at the basic level, when they start at the doctor's office very early, it changes everything about the family dynamic, doesn't it?
It does. I'm sure you have, you know, memories of your parents reading to you. I have memories of that. I have memories of reading to my niece and nephew, and it really does. It strengthens a bond. It gives you something to talk about, even especially as they get older. When you're reading books together, it really is. It becomes a habit in the family.
It is a great organization. We want people to know how they can get to you. The website is a long one, but easy one to remember. It's legacycommunityhealth.org, and the number to call is 832-548-5000. I'm sure you would not turn away any money.
We don't. We don't turn around any money, and we love volunteers.
Absolutely. So not just the money part, but people can come down and be a part of a volunteer force.
We would love to have them we'd love to have people come and read to the kids.
Great. I think I'll try to figure out a way to do that.
Well, that would be wonderful. We'd love to have you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Good luck and congratulations on what's been going on so far.
Thank you.
Great program. Hey, cancer. Once you say the word, it means many things for so many people, but for thousands, it means fighting it here in Houston while having a very difficult time finding a place to stay. My next guest saw that need and is filling it. His story and your chance to help when Houston Newsmakers continues. And welcome back to Houston Newsmakers. And good morning to Brian Hall. He's the founder of Friday Harbor. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Very interesting reading about Friday Harbor, an organization that you set up because of what you saw within your family for a way to give cancer patients who need a place to stay, a place to stay. Right. Is that pretty much it in a nutshell?
That's pretty much it.
Now, talk about the genesis. You saw your family going through this. How did you evolve from what you were seeing in your family to this point?
Well, what was really unique was that my first visit with this subject was actually in my office. One day I sat and was thinking about doing something to help others and really trying to figure out what it would be that I could get involved in. And a colleague and I actually started talking about it together, and we realized that moment that we had about 18 to 20 people on our office floor that were either dealing with cancer or had dealt with it personally or had a family or friend dealing with it.
I'm sure it's a shocking number for you.
Completely, and particularly because my brother was actually going through treatment for lymphoma at the time as well. So it wasn't until we really started to dive into cancer that we realized, let's do something about cancer. But then the challenge was really, what do you do about it? And as I reflected on my mom taking my brother into treatment in Temple, Texas, driving 3 hours to get his treatment, and really talking about the weeks that she did that, and understanding that there were days when they were spending the whole day in the hospital, and then when they were released, they had the challenge of driving home. The challenge more so was, if she didn't want to drive home, what could she do? And there was a moment where she would call me, and you could tell that she was stressed. She didn't really want to call. But she was taking my brother to get treatment, so I told her, call me anytime. And she said, I would really like to stay here the night, but I really don't have the money. No problem for me. I said, I'll book a hotel right now.
Sure.
So I did that. And it was a number of times as I went through that process as a son, booking a hotel in a city where I wasn't actually in, there was a challenge even with that, with paperwork and being able to do it by the policy of the hotel. So as I reflected on that, we realized that whether or not you had a son or a loved one that could actually pay for your housing, there were processes that were in place that kind of prevented it from being easy. And that's when we landed on, well, let's do free housing for patients and families. Let's figure out how to do it.
And you're working with the hospital, a specific hospital right now?
Right now, Friday Harbor, we are a Houston-based, volunteer-only group. We are working with currently Texas Children's Cancer Center and MD Anderson Cancer Center. But in 2016, we're actually opening it up to all of the Texas Medical Center for any cancer patient, family, or caregiver that's involved in treatment.
And how do you get these rooms? Is it just a matter of your organization getting the money and paying a hotel for the rooms?
That's right. Our volunteers, my board members and several other volunteers, we actually put on fun events, just small events, large events, where we raise not only friends to help them understand this need, but also funds. So that's how we've provided over 1,200 nights so far since being founded in 2009. And impacted over 350 families, but it's through collecting funds, through fundraising, and that money goes directly to the hotels in the medical center that we've negotiated rates with, and it's been really lucrative for us, at least to this point.
Sure, and the hotels are generous in terms of being able to give you a rate that maybe somebody couldn't get walking in off the street because they know what you're doing as a service.
Well, it was really interesting. My dream, of course, when I started this was, well, you know, we're a nonprofit. Let's go to the hotels and ask for free rooms because we're a nonprofit, and they're going to, of course, oblige. And luckily, one of my board vice president today said, that's probably not going to work. So we developed a strategy where we understood what the costs are for a hotel that goes unused, and really went in with a plan ahead of time, a business offering, if you will, that really met the hotel operator or owner at where they are. And so we were able to negotiate rates for 5 hotels in the center, and right now we can provide almost 2 nights of housing for a $100 donation.
Right. Wow. Okay. Now, what's your goal going forward for this next year? Just short term in terms of how many rooms you're going to be able to provide.
You bet. Our goal for 2016 is to provide 100 nights per month for the 12-month period of 2016.
Right. And so you're going to need to get the money in to do that, which is an ongoing process. What would you tell people the best way they can help you be able to do that?
Well, there's 3 ways that Friday Harbor could use the community's support. One is as a doer, volunteer, come join us for one of our events. Whatever you're good at, just come and help us. We're a volunteer-based nonprofit. Be a donor. We have an actual giving program that is called Friday Beacons, and it allows for a donor to give repetitive gift per month of $50 or $100, and we'd automatically debit that from their checking or banking account or credit card, and it allows them to give every month without actually lifting a finger, and that's going to help us get that 100 nights per month. And then the final is being a door opener. There are many people in the community who are impacted by cancer or will be, and what we want to do is bring that group together to unify not only Friday Harbor, but other nonprofits that are doing their small portion to help impact families. And I think we'll begin to see in 2016 some of those activities that will bring those charities together, and then we'll look for long-term social change.
I know your website is under construction. It's going to be brand new and huge and great. It's going to be FridayHarbor.org.
That's right.
A number to call is 888-581-4808.
Right.
Or 713-504-9557.
That's right.
And I'm going to have all this information on the click2houston.com Newsmakers website as well.
Outstanding.
Brian Hall, thank you for what you're doing. It's a great service, and I know hopefully a lot of our viewers are going to step up and be involved with you to get this thing done.
We'd love that.
All right, thank you. All right, next up, Big Brothers Big Sisters, one of the oldest formulas around. A man or a woman prepared as a mentor with a boy or a girl. Why it still works and why you're still needed in that mission. Next, when Houston Newsmakers continues.
From KPRC Channel 2, this is Houston Newsmakers with Cambrell Marshall.
Big Brothers started more than 110 years ago for the express purpose of mentoring young men. Now, Big Brothers Big Sisters, the organization, has offices all over the United States and internationally. Tracy Dietrich was a little brother. He became a big brother and is now the chair of the Big Brothers Big Sisters Houston Regional Board. And Daryl Blackburn is the youngest member of that board. He also was a little and is now a big and giving back in a great way. Thank you both for being here. What is it about Big Brothers Big Sisters that makes you so excited to be involved?
You know, it's fantastic to just watch the relationship start with, you know, an at-risk child and a mentor, someone like me that wants to give back and help someone that was less fortunate, and blossom into this great long-term friendship and relationship.
Well, when you were a little, did that evolve to the point where it automatically made you want to be a big whenever you were able to do so?
It did, yeah. My best man at my wedding was my big brother that I met when I was 9 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it really is a part of your family and your life.
Absolutely.
And what is it about your relationship with your little brother now that really kind of stands out and kind of makes it all worthwhile for you?
You know, when I met Aaron for the first time, he had never made an A in any of his classes, and he was 11 years old. So we worked out a little system, little incentive, and he'd have to do push-ups if he didn't make an A at all on his report card, and if he did, then he would get a couple of dollars. And so now he regularly makes A's and doesn't do too many push-ups.
Isn't it safe to say that he's impacted your life?
Absolutely. I think that's one thing that, you know, we know that the kids get a lot out of our relationships, but the mentors as well. In fact, I would say I got more out of it than he did.
Well, we do have some tape of him talking about how you've impacted his life. Let's take a look.
To me, it doesn't feel like he's my brother. To me, he's like something more special. He's like somebody I can count on, somebody I can talk to whenever there's a problem if I can. Somebody that supports me and actually wants to see the accomplishment in my life. And somehow he's like a father figure to me.
That is so neat to hear. And I guess you kind of expected you would get to this point in terms of that relationship.
Absolutely.
Daryl, you have a little, you were a little, but your coming up was a little different. You didn't have a one-on-one, you had a couple.
That's correct. I was fortunate enough to be matched in 1998 with a married couple. And, you know, we wish that all our kids could have a similar situation like that, but anybody, the truth is anybody who's qualified and who has the desire to change a child's life can make a difference here in the city. And Tracy's story is a lot like mine. We were both single-parent homes. We were both, you know, at-risk youth. I went to elementary school in 3rd Ward and high school in the Heights, and you know, those are areas where, you know, kids face things that kids other places might not face.
When you were coming into the program, do you remember back when you started, did you have any goals, or were you just kind of wide-eyed and just kind of anticipating whatever?
Exactly. I was wide-eyed. All I wanted to do was play baseball, and I needed somebody to tell me that there was a lot more in life than baseball.
And so, what did you end up doing with yourself?
Well, my bigs were both in the energy sector here in Houston, and they told me at a young age that I could be an engineer. And so from 8 years old, I'd been telling myself enough that one day I'll become an engineer, and today I'm a petroleum engineer here in Houston, Texas.
But along the way, you became an Eagle Scout as well, which is not, was that something they gave you incentive to do as well?
That's right. I mean, my mom and my bigs were both so supportive in every endeavor that my mom wanted me to be a part of. And you know, Big Brothers Big Sisters is special because it offers one-on-one mentorship. You know, Tracy and I are both Eagle Scouts. We were both in sports growing up, but Big Brothers Big Sisters offers a specific relationship that is harbored through our organization, you know, over a certain amount of time, and lives are being changed. Lives are absolutely being changed. And we have 800 students, children in this area that are on the waiting list right now, waiting on Bigs.
So that's always the energy to try to get those kids off that waiting list and into a program. What would you tell people that they can do in order to be an assist, if you will, to Big Brothers Big Sisters in 2016?
Sure, there's really 3 things, and anybody can do this. One is to be a big. You know, just incorporate them right into your own family life, whether you're an individual or a couple or a family. 2 of my and my wife's friends just signed up to be Big Brothers and Big Sisters. We're so excited for them. If you can't be a big, then you can help to fund a big. You know, it costs us about $1,000 to $1,200 per year to make a match and support a safe and an active match. Or 3 is help us to find a big. Just be a walking billboard. Talk to people that if you know a single parent or somebody that wants to give back, and it's simple, 3-4 hours a month, anybody can do that.
We've got the information on the screen for you. If you want to get in touch with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, you can go to their website, bbbstx.org, or the phone number is 713-271-5683. It's a great organization. I've been involved with it for more than 25 years in one way or another. I just wanted to make sure that you knew about it as well. Tracy Dietrich, thank you, Daryl, for coming in. Appreciate it. And congratulations on what you both are doing now with the board. It's making it even a better board.
Our pleasure.
Thank you so much. Hey, before I go, I want you to meet Princess Jackson. She saw a need, she did something about it, and now is a nonprofit organization that keeps filling that need. We'll talk about Sock Out Poverty. That's next when Houston Newsmakers continues. So, I told you before I go this morning, I want you to meet 12-year-old Princess Jackson, who started the organization Sock Out Poverty socks being the main component of what this organization does. Good morning, Princess. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good.
So how did you come up with this organization? What was it that made this happen?
Well, I was downtown and I saw homeless people with blankets, cardboards, and shoes with holes in them, but they didn't have socks to help keep them warm.
And so you saw that. You could have just said, oh, that's so bad, and just kept going. What made you turn it into, well, let's go out and collect socks?
Well, I also like socks, and I also think it's good to give back to the people that need more than you do.
Right, right. Now, when you started this, did you expect that you would have the kind of reaction that people had to you?
Actually, no. I thought it was just going to be 1 or 2 days giving, and then it's going to be done with. But instead, I wanted to expand it.
So now it's expanded and you're doing stuff all year long, or you're collecting socks all year long for the most part?
Yes, we are going to be doing, we're going to be going to the Salvation Army on Christmas Eve, and we do Christmas in July.
Christmas in July, so all year long. What are your goals? What do you hope will happen ultimately with this organization?
Well, I hope to go global and help people all over the world.
Well, I think if you do, we'll all be in touch and making sure we can kind of remember when you were this point. I should say you're an actress as well, so you do that as well. So just what to do with your life. We're going to talk more with Princess about the Sock Out Poverty. You can go to the website, Sock Out Poverty, or you can go to 888-318-2838. Now, I invite you to go to Newsmakers Extra this week. We'll have much more with Princess Jackson and her charity, and more about her impressive already story in her young life. That'll be on Newsmakers page on click2houston.com. Well, I hope today's show enlightened you some about the great charities we have in this great city of ours. Whether it's one of the ones highlighted today or others of your choosing, please give generously in 2016. Thank you so much for watching. Andy Sirota will be sitting in for me next week. I'll see you week after next. Have a great day, everybody.